Hello, and welcome to another Game Developers Vlog, in which I'll first like to apologize because I haven't made an update in quite a while. And that's because even though I've been working on 3 projects since last time and finished one of them, they haven't been sort of visually significant in any way. And, or well, not very significant visually in any way. And I haven't gotten the kind of impetus that I get when I finish a work. Like, for example, a drawing like this one down here. When I finish that, I feel, let's say, a sense of closure, and I sense, I'd like to show this off. But I haven't really gotten that for a while now. So yesterday I had to almost force myself to make an upload something to Instagram, make an update there, and it's been the same this evening with regards to making this update. But now I am here, and so let me get to the cut to the chase, get to the point. If you look here on the screen, to the left of me for you, you'll see in the middle there, you might be able to tell that it says main menu and then 2 weird words. That is my menu system, which I had to create, or I didn't have to, but I wanted to because it allows me to create new image files and of any name and size that I want. So I can create, for example, like the K over there. It's a custom size image file. Before, when previously the program, the image you could work on in the program had the size that was coded into the source code. And if you wanted to change that, you'd have to change some part of the source code, which I did, but that's very cumbersome. It also allows me to create new or separate folders. So what you see there, those are actually 2 separate folders in which I keep different sets of image files for different purposes. So for example, if I go into the gallery A, here I have a few, I call them tests, where I've been sketching my letters to see how large the various picture or files need to be. Not the files, but how many pixels wide and how many pixels tall. They're all the same height, but how many pixels wide the various letters need to be in order not to become too wide. Because if you have the same size of picture for an I as for a G, then the I will be bracketed by lots of space, right? You don't want that to happen. And then I've been making my own font, which I've been wanting to do for a long time, to include in my various programs and games. I designed that about a couple of weeks ago. I sat and made a font like this, sketching a bit, wanting to give it a sort of medieval fantasy theme. So I went very much for a gothic look, and I think they're coming out rather well so far. I gotten to and finished the letter capital M so far. That's the latest thing I made. And there are a few others that capital K looked really nice, I think. Let me look here. K. This one, that's fancy, for example. This is, of course, a zoomed in view. That's the actual size. Quite difficult to see, I believe, in the video. But it's more interesting to look at up close. So that's one of the projects. The menu system is the only project I've finished for now, as this entire drawing program is, of course, under constant development, you might say. It won't be finished for long, but for now it has the usefulness required of it. And then, yeah, about halfway through the alphabet, I'll of course have to make numbers as well. I really look forward to being able to use those instead of the default Windows font that turns up. Like, yeah, if I press and go into the gallery here, this is the default Windows font you get whenever you tell a program to show text, unless I guess you can probably change it somewhere, but I'd rather make my own. So those are two things: menu system and font. And lastly, I've been working on graphics for this game, just a little bit. And let me be clear, you might have seen pictures, both these pictures and some pictures made in this program of this character, but those are not graphics for the game. That was concept art. Now I've been sketching graphics for the actual game that will be used in gameplay. Yeah, so that's a significant thing, I think. And I have them here. I have two only so far. This is one, also zoomed in, actual size. And if you recall, if you saw my last video, I said it was going to be a top-down kind of game, meaning it's seen from directly above. So this is this guy seen running on the ground from above. You see, he's looking that way. His tail is pointing that way. He has a gun in his right hand, and the other, you can see his right foot sticking out there as he's running or walking, etc. Now, my game is not going to be very advanced graphically. More advanced than my previous games, but not very advanced. So it's actually still going to be very simple. So there will be no animation. These pictures will not move. The only thing they'll do is well, sorry, they'll move, but they will not be animated. So you can see this. Imagine that this little fellow is far down on the screen, and you press the up button, up arrow button on your keyboard, then he will move upwards, like so. But it will still be just one picture. Sort of when you move the mouse cursor, that arrow, unless you've downloaded some fancy cursor from the internet, it'll just be a stationary arrow or non-animated arrow that you move around. It always looks the same. I think I will make it so that if you walk left, it will face left. If you walk right, it will face right, etc. But that's all. That's what I'm planning to do for all the everything that moves in game. Such graphics that move in game, especially if they are two-dimensional, are often referred to as sprites. So for the sprites, that's what's going to happen. They're going to move around, they're going to face the direction they're moving, but that's it. Now, I'm not particularly fond of this one. That was the first sketch. So that's not the one I'm going to use. I was going to say, I don't think I'll use this one either, because it's still just a sketch. But this is much closer to what I imagine, or what I think I want. One significant thing is that you can't see his feet in this one. So that sort of absolves me from the duty of animating, I think. It's a sort of getaway card. At least an excuse for not having those move. It'll still look weird with his tail always looking the same, etc. But this is very likely quite close to what he will look like in the game. And again, this is zoomed in, so that's the kind of size you can imagine him being. And all the other rats, the the rats you'll be meeting up with and those you'll be fighting against, they'll be that size. Then there'll probably be some cars, I think, and that's it for the first game. Not very advanced, but functional. Okay, so those are the things I wanted to tell you about. The updates on the projects I've been working on. I look forward to starting to program the movement and such. Now I have a sprite, something to move around. Maybe just having him move around on a black background would be interesting. And what else? Well, tonight on stream, I do plan to paint a bit on this painting. It's been a while. I'm looking forward to that. So that's what I'm going to do right after this. Now, if you like my content, or interested in this game or the drawings I make or the painting, stuff like that, you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv. I will leave links to all of my social media, Twitch, Patreon, Instagram, all that in the description of this video. And yeah, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel here on YouTube for more updates on this project, or various projects actually. Thank you so much for watching and listening. With that, I wish you a good time of day and goodbye.